Foxy Music. Foxy Music.
Good evening, good evening. Just at the end of the first day of the week, and we'll enjoy our next few minutes making some
Foxy Music.
wired leaves. So I'm going to use gum paste, and I will do some very easy wired leaves. So let's start doing them. Now to make some wired leaves, I'm going to use some egg white instead of glue, but obviously you can use glue if you want to. And I'm going to start by rolling the gum paste on the board, the grooving board. You do need gum paste, so you cannot work with fondant or modeling paste. You need to use a paste which will dry eventually on the wire. And that's the gum paste. So I'm going to apply the gum paste over one of the grooves, and then with a rolling pin I'll just roll backwards and forwards. If the paste doesn't want to stick to the board, then try to roll the rolling pin down just to secure a little bit, and then you stretch the paste along. Now you can make the leaves or petals fairly thin, but if you make them too thin, they will eventually break, so not super thin. Now if you want to roll them a bit thicker, it will be kind of difficult to see where the groovings are. So if you just roll to the point that you see where the groovings are, that would be just enough. And obviously you can just pull the excess paste away from the base. The paste should stay covered, shouldn't be left exposed to the air. Unfortunately, I don't have anything here to cover, but it shouldn't stay uncovered as it gets dry very quick. Now there are a few ways to cut. You can apply the cutter right over, and the base of the cutter should match the base of the groove. Okay, and then you press firmly and then just pull the excess paste away, and you are left with the leaf, which you can just bring up, and then you've got nice grooving through the back of the petal. So I'm going to just dip the wire onto the glue, and I'm using a 26 gauge wire, and I'm going to wire the leaf by inserting the wire on this thick groove about half of an inch or 1 centimeter, 1.2 centimeters in. And obviously I want the front of the leaf to remain nice. Now I can use a veiner, but if you don't have a veiner, you can just leave the leaf. In fact, let's just leave the leaf as it is. All we are going to do is with the Dresden tool or with the bowl tool, I'm just going to soften the edge a little bit, not frilling the edge, just softening. Yep. So just going backwards and forwards along the edge to make the leaf to look a little bit like it's moving around. And then with the sharp end of the Dresden tool, I'm just going to mark a line through the center, and that's all I'm going to do with this leaf here. So just a very plain type of leaf. And I can just leave it to dry on the side. Now with the second method, I can do the same thing. Again, just pressing the gum paste on the board, rolling down first to secure, and then stretching the paste along. And then I can pick this up, flip it upside down, match the base of the cutter with the base of the groove, and then just I don't think I've pressed enough. Let's see if I can match now. It's very difficult to match once you've cut. Just going to peel this by hand and tidy up. It's very difficult to match with a cutter if you don't cut clean right from the beginning. Okay, I'm going to try and do it again. Okay, so just the end of the cutter, and then just firmly press and shape against the board so that you get a clean cut. Okay, so just going to use one of the leaves, going to dip the wire onto the glue, and again just pick the leaf in between my finger and thumb, and then just insert the wire into the groove. Some people do find easier to fit the leaf or the petal on the board and then just insert the wire. I find it more easier to kind of keep it between my fingers, but whatever, as long as the result is okay. So you don't have to wire the whole thing through, it's just a little bit at the base. Okay, and that can be veined, so the wire sits into that deep side of the veiner. It's usually an erased part or one indented. So you just want to align the leaf and then just press. You have to apply gentle pressure because it's very easy to cut through the leaf, through the paste, and practically ruin the leaf. So you can just leave it as it is, or again just go on the edge and then just smooth and frill a little bit. It obviously gives a little bit more natural look to this foliage. Okay. Now if you don't have a grooving board, I'm just going to leave this without putting any smoothing, any shaping. It will just be plain as it was after cutting. And then just to get a leaf with a groove, considering that I don't have a rolling board, just want to make one. Okay, just going to get a ball of paste, make it more like a cone shape. You don't necessarily have to go to a cone shape, but I think that's the easiest one to go for. And then just flatten the edges and leave like a ridge in here, and get maybe a smaller rolling pin and start to roll one side and the other, maintaining that bridge on the side. That's the old style of making leaves and petals. Yeah. And practically you get this base which is super thick, and it allows you to insert the wire, and you put that right at the base, and again shape nicely, and then this chunky part you will get your wire through. Okay, again, if you want, you can vein, or you can even vein, so that's the back of the leaf. Yeah, you can even vein by just applying one part of the veiner over. Okay, but it's more difficult to control where it goes, and you might get the leaf a little bit wonky like I did. And again, just some smoothing and just reshape through the center to make sure that you've marked that embossing to the center. Yep, so 4 different types of finishings on the leaf. A plain, just gently shaped, veined more nicely and rolled more thinly, and a bit more kind of chunky. So I hope that gave you an idea about how you can finish off your leaves. So whenever you've got a budget cake, I wouldn't stress too much in applying any texture, any smoothing. Literally just some foliage will just make things to look nicer, but without you spending too much time on finishing, adding too many details to the foliage. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you back tomorrow evening for a new demo. Have a lovely evening.